Play different.
Greetings fellow Mac addicts! In today's video we're taking a look at Diamonds, an arcade puzzle game from Barcon Systems released in 1992. Many describe it as a breakout clone where the player controls the ball, but that is quite an oversimplification. For one thing, the ball is constantly moving up or down, with the player only being able to directly control its horizontal movement. Secondly, it's not a simple matter of hitting the bricks to make them disappear. Players also need to be the same colour as the brick, or they'll bounce right back off. At the start of every level, the player is blue, and all the blue bricks must be destroyed. Once that's done, the player must then bounce on one of the paintbrush bricks to change the colour of the ball, and then smack out the bricks of the same colour they just changed to. Once all the coloured bricks are bopped away, the player can finally hit the titular diamond bricks. Once they're cleared, the level ends and they're awarded a time bonus if they did it quick enough. Hooray! Of course, there are other things to worry about, such as the skull bricks which make the player lose a life, and there are bricks which will reverse controls, and padlocked bricks which require keys. But one of the biggest obstacles can actually be the paintbrushes, especially at the start of each level, as there is no way to get back to blue balls. So if you accidentally hit a paintbrush before knocking out all the blue bricks, congratulations! You just played yourself and now have to make your ball commit suicide by flying into a death brick. This mechanic is used as part of the game's challenge, and in later levels it also becomes possible to trap yourself if one becomes the wrong colour at the wrong time and or space. The levels certainly can get devious, though I never felt they were unfair. You just need to pay attention to your surroundings, plan ahead, and move carefully. There are other things that add to the challenge too, such as trying to manage the vertical movement by bouncing off objects, squeezing into tight spaces, and dodging the death bricks, which becomes tricky when there is a group around a block you need to smash. Players will also want to try to find the quickest route through each level, as the points awarded from the time bonuses can really help earn extra lives. I was quite impressed with the variety the game offers. Despite there being a relatively small amount of mechanics, the designers did an excellent job of making each level feel different and fresh, and there was a nice, smooth difficulty curve. The way the physics work can get frustrating though, as there is zero friction or inertia, so you have to get used to the unnatural feel of the movement. This leads to hair-pulling moments like knocking out a brick, but oops, you held the arrow key for slightly too long after hitting it, which sends the ball straight into a nearby death block. I feel like this may be by design, but it doesn't make it any less annoying. Diamonds included a level editor, and was later re-released with a 40-level standalone expansion imaginatively called More Diamonds, which featured many fan-made levels. Now, Diamonds was far from the first game of this type. In fact, the earliest example I found is a 1988 Commodore 64 game called Quillian by Oliver Kerway. It's a bit primitive compared to Diamonds, but the basic mechanics were there. Then there was the Diamond Ball series by H. Wilhelm, which really fleshed out the concept. So Diamonds is not an original game, though it's definitely one of the most polished and well-designed examples. It also definitely has the coolest packaging, as you can see here. One of the worst examples of the genre though can be found on the infamous Action 52 cartridge for the Sega Genesis. The first game on the card, Go Bonkers, is a Quillian-like, except really not very good. In fact, I'd even go as far to say that it's quite bad. For the longest time, people also thought it was impossible to beat the final level, especially after someone attempted to do a tool-assisted speedrun of it, but failed. A streamer I watch by the name of Bladen actually managed to solve the level with the help of the audience member Don Tekid. I'll link to his Twitch below, in addition to the relevant YouTube video, as it's the first recording of anyone single crediting the entire game. But back to Diamonds, it had a few spin-offs. There was Diamonds 3D, which is different enough to warrant a separate video, and then there is Diamonds for Kids, which was a part of the Kids Arcade Pack released in 1996. This game is exactly what the name suggests, diamonds but way easier. The ball speed is customizable, the bricks are bigger and there are less of them on the screen, the ball has a big friendly smiley face on it, and so on. It's actually quite fun as long as you max out the speed, and even then, it's still a much less frantic Diamonds experience. And that, my friends, is Diamonds, a Macintosh game that may not be an original concept, but it certainly is one of the best executed examples of the genre, and it's still very enjoyable to play today.